Hello, and welcome to our Mage the Ascension Chronicle, Seattle at Dawn. I am the Storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Thank you for joining us, this being our third episode. We stream new episodes on the Dahlia World Garden Twitch channel every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And you can watch our previous and future episodes at the Dahlia World Garden YouTube channel. Links can be found in the channel description. Let it be known, this game is set in White Wolf's world of darkness. It can be a scary place. This is an adult game with adult themes and situations. There may be uncomfortable scenarios portrayed or discussed. Viewer discretion is advised. Also, we today have a shameless plug. Two of my players, one of whom is my partner and love of my life, are featured in a new project from Wormwood that started Kickstarter last week. It is the Corrupted Tarot Project, and you can find it at the kickstarter.com project/wormwood/corrupted tarot by Wormwood. You know what? I got a better idea. Let me just show you the video. See? Brilliant. I am so excited and thrilled for my friends and all the artists that went into that. They're not a sponsor of the show or anything like that. They're just people I love and care about, and I hope that that project works out very well for them. It kickstarted last week. It did get funded, but if you want a deck, if you want some really cool dice, there's some really cool dice in there for some of their stretch goals. Check it out. I highly recommend it. And I'll find a way to put like links in the description or something like that. But now, without further ado, because we are here for our mages, let's meet with our Awaken of the Pacific Northwest. Hey guys.
Hello.
Sorry for the small
Hi.
plug there, but I think that was worth it.
Plug away. Plug away.
Ah,
It's absolutely awesome.
it is.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with myself. I just think it's so cool. Well, you guys are playing mages, so let's get into this. Let's meet you guys. Let's start with Cindy. Cindy, go ahead. Let us know who you are, who you're playing. We'll go from there.
Ooh. You're muted.
Cindy's on mute.
Yeah.
She is.
You must be
There
muted.
we go.
Of course she is. It's so funny.
Okay, so anyway, Cindy, she, her, and I am playing Inea Blackwell. She is a techno mage who seems to have collected a bevy of baby mages she keeps having to run herd on.
Okay. So, last time, you kind of went around and tried to find a specific location, the Conjurer's Cubbyhole. Turns out that it's a little harder to find than other places in Pike Place, but you managed to get your way down there. Tell us a little bit about the your adventure that you had around Pike Place and how Day is thinking.
Okay, so Nea's got she has a connection with the homeless population in and around Seattle. She takes meals to them, and she's kind of been taking care of some of them magically, and forging kind of an information network with some of them. There's been some vigilantes attacking homeless folks in the area at night, and she got caught up at one point in a running battle against one of these vigilantes. They caught him and turned him over. I think he got turned over to the police eventually.
Yeah.
Can't remember for sure.
After sustaining some injuries, yes.
Yeah, it was not a gentle catching.
I think somebody got shot in the knee.
Yeah, well, she ran into an actual like superhero type vigilante in the course of this whole thing, and that kind of escalated things a little bit more.
That'll happen.
So what she's most concerned with, where we're picking up right now, is that those attacks have continued even after this they caught this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she is hoping to get some more information about what has spurred these on and these attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems a little bit more than just prejudice and hatred. Especially, something is pinging off of her instincts. Additionally, let's see, she has a couple of young mages, that one of whom she bailed out of trouble, like very mortal trouble, a while back, that has since been kind of dodging her, and she's a little concerned with who might be contacting this young lady. So she's looking for information about that. Vivi has kind of disappeared off of the radar for the time being.
Yeah, Vivi's been busy with art projects.
Right. So Nae's a little concerned, but less concerned about Vivi than she is about. Oh, her name just disappeared from my mind.
No, you're talking about Lucia.
Lucia, thank you. I was like, I know the player's name. And let's see. Oh, that's the other thing. So Nea's got a couple of irons in the fire here. She's also been concerned recently about some streamers, magical community streamers, who have disappeared from streaming after leaving some concerning messages as their last streams. She's worried about this because it sounds like they feel like they're being hunted or threatened in some way. And she's hoping somebody can give her more information about that as well.
Right. Solid couple of episodes there for you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, Bill, I'd like to talk to you now. What's going on?
That would be me. I'm Bill. He, him. I'm playing Charlie Newell. Charlie is a mushroom scientist and a verbena.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a pretty interesting couple of weeks. He had an encounter with an alien, and then he had an encounter with an orangutan.
I don't know if I could keep up that level of interspecies communications. But,
it's going to
we'll
get
see.
difficult after a while. I'm sure the novelty is going to have to wear. Charlie's
I
a little
forgot about the
freaked out,
orangutan.
though, you know. Yes,
Well,
and
Suzanne.
really, that interesting interaction was kind of the least interesting thing that was going on because he's having. Whoa, what is that?
That was my
he's
phone. I'm
having-
sorry. It buzzed and hit the table, and therefore the microphone got it and everything. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, the time is up.
Yes, this is timed, Bill.
No more orangutans for anyone.
No, okay.
Well,
Phone safely in my pocket.
So Charlie is concerned about the interaction that he had with the Men in Black because when he went to get some information about it from his friend Brad, he was saying that this is most likely New World Order
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff that I'm dealing with. And so he reluctantly gave me some information about people to contact that might be able to give me, to further that train of investigation.
Yeah, a bit of a dossier of interconnected mages that might be able to give you some more information. All right, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry you had to deal with Susanna. She was supposed to have a voice by now, and it hasn't occurred.
It was just absolutely surprising. It's not something you expect to run into.
Yeah. Someday. I hope to someday find like an orangutan that wants to talk to me. Or in this case, doesn't want to talk to me, but can talk.
At least can talk and
Fantastic.
and can type.
Yeah, well, typing is not that hard, as she reminded you.
Yes.
All right. Alix.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the stream here. In the last session, well, actually, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
My name is Alix. Hello. Pronouns they, them. I am playing Jezebel Spinner. Yes.
Yeah, and in the last session, many interesting things were happening all around you, or around Jezebel. What's your impressions of what was going down?
Honestly, I met some interesting people, very interesting people. And I developed a new trust in my best friend, in her ability to judge things correctly.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
It's nice when you realize that your friends are, they're looking out for themselves and they're looking out for you as well. But
Yeah.
so maybe some of the we get these images of our friends, and sometimes they become these static images of what they were, or
Yeah.
how they how they think, and then it takes a reminder sometimes to be like, oh, they're actually more like this, or what, I've always trusted them, why am I not trusting them now, and that sort of thing.
It's I would say Jezzy was thinking, or still thinking, of Sunny as she did when they were children.
Mm-hmm.
Like when puberty just happened and everybody's growing up and blossoming in the farm, and it's just a lot happening, and Sunny was a little boy crazy when she was younger, but she's a grown woman now, and I think Jezzy needed that reminder that Sunny's not some goofy little 12-year-old anymore. She's a grown woman with a good head on her shoulders. And even though Jezebel still does not like Brad, she at the very least trusts Sunny's judgment more. And that was a good lesson for her to learn. And it sort of helped to remind her honestly of what Aunt Mabel said, to get out there and see what's out there. I mean, Sunny is doing it, why not her? And that's where Jezzy is now, mentally.
Excellent. I'm just putting down some notes here. Don't worry.
No, I always worry when you make notes.
I get excited. I'm like, yes, let's do this.
Side note, you know what? I'll say that for the end. Never mind. That doesn't,
Oh boy.
doesn't belong here. Oh, don't worry, it's nothing big. It's just fandom. And whatever. All right. Well, thank you, Alix. I think we'll get going here. First, I want to remind you and the audience about Mage. A little bit of history. The first conclave did not go well. Betrayal within the first cabal nearly undid the hard work done to slow the advance of the Order of Reason. Had they succeeded, who knows what the technocracy would have become. Some theorize that the Council of Nine Traditions, had they been better organized, the Order of Reason would have been destroyed before they ever transitioned into the Technocratic Union. Perhaps the traditions, would have dominated the consensus. Perhaps they would have become like the Union. But instead of a TV in every home, we'd consume the adventures of Gilligan's Island via gazing mirrors. Or, more likely, the world would have been thrown further into feudalism. Perhaps it's something we'll never know. And the possibilities for something like this are innumerable. Today, the traditions, having survived centuries, yet never truly thriving, were nearly destroyed at the turn of the millennium. Perhaps now is their time to reclaim reality and lead humanity into a brighter future. Before we begin tonight's traverse along the fragile path, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. The three of you are mages. Two of you had earlier cast spells upon yourselves that would allow you to perceive things in a heightened way. For Inea, it's to see the spirit realm, and for Charlie, it was to perceive primal energy. Both of those effects would have gone away at this point. It's something that you can renew. Those effects were set for a scene. However, for all three of you, at the start of your day, was there anything that you had cast upon yourselves that would have a longer duration, say for the whole day, or anything like that, like protective spells or anything like that?
Well, I would say, I don't know how effective this is, but I know that for the peace of mind of her aunt and her uncle, or her adoptive family, for their peace of mind, Jezzy does do protective spells for herself and for Sunny, just because Pike Place Market is a very big place. And there's lots of people going hither and thither all the time. So anything can happen. And it's best to be safe. And Jezebel also casted something that would keep her a little warmer, just because the weather is breaking. And she doesn't want to wear a jacket just yet.
Okay. Well, let's see. You don't quite have the skills to change like your body temperature or anything like that. You don't have any for you could cast something on yourself that would make you not realize that you're cold. Mind to effect to do that.
A mind to, yeah, like that.
But you could also do other things like yeah, I mean, you could definitely, if you increase your mind, your mental capabilities, make yourself more immune to external stimuli, sensations that would make you cold or hot or that sort of thing.
Or tired, yeah. Because she's doing a lot of dancing and singing with her friend. They're performing, so and they have to perform all day in front of hundreds of people.
Okay, so like a mental fortitude type of protective spell.
Yeah, it gets her in the zone.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just say Jezebel zone. How long do you spend prepping and working that spell?
I would say that it's a part of her routine at this point. It's a part of her morning routine because they go to market
Right.
fairly often during harvest season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, a couple hours maybe, because she's doing her hair, she's putting on her clothes, doing her makeup, jewelry, all that good fun stuff. So she's doing the spell work as she's doing these things. It's a part of her routine.
Okay. Then with that, I'd say roll your arete twice with a difficulty of 4 and let me know how many successes you get.
Okay, so just click the button
Yeah, you click the arete.
for magic. Submit. Deep. Is there a DP mod? No?
No, this is 0.
Okay, submit. And a difficulty of 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Submit. Oh! So none there.
0 there. Okay.
Submit, 4, submit. And
But better.
2 there.
1 there.
1 there? Wait, is that a 9 or a 6?
It's a 9. It's a 10, a 9, and a 1.
Okay.
And the 1s subtract from your successes.
Oh, right. I forgot. Okay, cool. So 1.
All right. So that gives you 1 level of protection. So, like anything that tries to attack you mentally, or that strives to have any issues with you mentally for this day. Actually, yeah, this ritual would require okay. So yeah, so you got that 1 success, so you should be good for that because it's really only a spell that's affecting you.
Right.
So coincidental. Doesn't cause any paradox, as well as it's only affecting you, so it only requires the 1 success.
Okay, cool.
So, trying to think if I got the math right there. If I got it wrong, whatever. It's a ritual spell. It's something that you would have cast until you got it right, so you would have at least had that 1 success. Charlie, anything like that for you?
Nothing specifically comes to mind right now.
Okay. No worries. Some people like to live dangerously. Inea.
Okay, well, Nay regularly spends at least part of her day every day in relatively dangerous areas. So yeah, she would have double checked all of the protective sigils on her gear, pockets, and bags and stuff like that. Verified batteries were protected from spirit drain, and that sort of thing. She didn't really know what she was getting into exactly on this day because Amnesia kind of ambushed her with this, or well, sprung it on her anyway. But I think that she would probably have at minimum renewed the spirit magic, the spirit sensitivity perception magic.
Right.
When it wore off.
Right. So
probably right before she went back to the conjurer's cubbyhole.
Okay. Yeah. And since this is going into kind of a magical scenario here, you're doing this on the fly, but you do have... So in this case, you have like the chance to quickly cast this before you go into the whole cubbyhole, whatever. So I would say arete roll, difficulty 5, unless you're going to be spending any quintessence or other things. Actually, yeah, base difficulty is 5. You can bring it down to 3 that's the lowest you can bring it down to if you spend quintessence or use a tool. Sounds like you are using a tool, so we'll take it to 4 at least.
Yeah. Okay, so down to a 4. And this is on the perception magic? Is that what I'm rolling? Okay.
Right.
And no dice pool modifier, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I've got 2 successes on that one.
Excellent. 2 successes. In this case, would mean that, that this ability that you have can last the whole day now. It's not just not just for the next scene. It's for the whole day until you decide to take it off.
Okay.
And you said you were doing some base protective stuff.
Yes, to clothing and gear.
Mhm.
Clothing, obviously, for myself, but gear as well. Gear
Mhm.
pockets and battery pockets and bags
Mhm.
and things like that. Now, the bags I don't have with me. I just have what will go in my jacket.
So are you casting like a spiritual, like,
Well, they'd be warding sigils on for the equipment.
Okay.
So, like, if I get knocked down, they don't get crushed.
Mhm.
I take, less,
Okay.
mitigate the damage in some way.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so I'd say that could probably be. It's still going to be mostly spirit, so it's going to probably be a combination of spirit and correspondence. They'll probably try to grab from other things as well, but I'd say for a protective spell like this, and because you are dealing with spirits, I would say I would have you as part of the bargaining that comes with spirits, that you're going to give up a point of quintessence in this casting.
Okay.
Because what do spirits eat? Quintessence.
Yep. Quintessence.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said what?
In this case, it's the morning ritual, so it's still going to be coincidental. But the base difficulty will be 6. And you're going to need...
What attribute and ability?
No, just your arete.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
spells
totally
are all
misunderstood that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Any spell effect, it's going to be an arete roll.
Okay.
Now, in the future, if they ever make a mage V5 like they did with vampire, that will probably change.
Okay.
But we're not there yet, and I'm not changing yet.
Okay. So you were telling me about dice pool mod
0.
and difficulty.
The base difficulty is 6, but you're going to be using your ritualistic tools. And you're giving up at least 1 quintessence. So I would say that that's kind of a in transference that makes it a little easier because the spirits are more into it. So that would take it down to a difficulty of 4. You're also doing it in your sanctum, so that would take it down all the way down to 3.
Okay. And then I am pulling a quintessence off. I just clicked the pitchfork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And submit.
Oh, all 3 successes. Excellent.
I got 3 successes, yes.
This is going to last all day. And give... Well, actually, you had a choice. You could have... Well, you're going to want to last all day because you're casting in the beginning, so that's going to have the... Where am I? I'm on the wrong page. Here we go. Yeah, so it lasts all day, and it's going to protect your... It's going to protect your belongings in your backpack for 2 levels of damage. Okay. So, like, if there's any, like, crazy kerfuffle or whatever, the spirits are going to do the best they can to kind of soak 2 points of, or 2 levels of damage.
Okay.
3 successes on a single roll is pretty cool.
I'm pretty pleased with that. That's probably the best roll I'll get all night now.
Let's hope not. Now,
yes.
One thing I do want to go over a little bit is with this housekeeping that we're doing right now. you are a techno shaman, spirit mage. We talked a little bit about this before, but since we're kind of here at the beginning of today, are there any awakened or items? And if they are awakened, which ones do you bring with you? And do you have any? What's your relationship with them? What's their personalities, if you have any? Or would you like me to be their personalities? I can do that.
Okay, well, gonna give you some. Okay, so I'm thinking of her cell phone, which of course rides around with her everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Probably was the first thing that she awakened when she learned to do it.
Okay.
And probably it's a little bit mischievous because we all have had our tech do things that we didn't want it to do.
Okay. So mischievous.
But for the most part, they're on a pretty good, have a pretty good relationship. Kind of, fits her hand like it grew there kind of thing, and she uses it a lot for information gathering, for recording interviews, a lot. So
friend.
it's pretty well her best spirit friend. Now, her
Other than
favorite
Morrow.
well, yes, Morrow sort of trumps all of her other spirits.
Indeed.
Her favorite GoPro is probably just after that cell phone. It will ride around in her, regardless of what vest or jacket she's wearing, it always makes the transfer. It is probably a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. It likes to start shit and get involved in things, and it loves it, especially when she's having a scary day.
It drinks a lot of Mountain Dew and likes to do things extreme.
Yes. So that's where I am with that one.
Okay.
Those are the two that I'm fairly sure she would definitely have on her at this moment. I can't see her taking like a camcorder into a situation like this. But the cell phone and the GoPro, she has a tendency that they're like extensions of her body, and she forgets she has them till she's like, I wish I had it. Oh, I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fantastic.
yeah. And she'd probably have an extra battery for the GoPro as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the battery's a part of it.
Or I guess a battery bank. That wouldn't be awakened though, probably.
I mean, it could be, but I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, you could awaken the spirit of a cup, but then it's kind of the same
What's it going to do?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's just there to hold and not hold water.
Right.
Right. Okay.
I did actually think of something.
Oh, excellent. What's up, Charlie?
I would like to use life magic to enhance the protectiveness of my leather jacket.
Well, it wouldn't enhance your leather jacket, but it would enhance you.
Me, okay.
Like, yeah, your leather jacket,
because it was a natural material.
Once something is dead, it is matter. So, like, if you wanted to cast a spell that would like harm a vampire, you'd actually have to incorporate both life and matter into it because they are undead.
So it would actually be better off to use the life magic to protect my skin.
Yes.
Rather than the. Well, that makes sense as well.
And yeah, you can certainly do that. So if you wanted to I would say, yeah, same thing with you. You would make 2 rolls of your arete, and we'd count up the successes for that. You can also use correspondence to kind of give yourself like a you could even add it into the spell, and the correspondence would make it more difficult for people to know where you are if they try to touch you.
That makes sense. Charlie is kind of a reclusive guy and doesn't really like to be touched.
Okay. We can, depending on the number of successes, we can feel out what that does for you.
Okay, arete.
Mm-hmm. Now, you'd be doing this, out in the Olympic Park, probably by a node. You don't necessarily have a sanctum or anything like that, but being by a node would give you an advantage. So I'd say if you're using tools and you're by this node, difficulty would be 4.
Okay, 4.
That's 3 successes. And you get
Sweet.
1 more roll of that.
Let's go back over there. Difficulty 4, submit.
6 successes on your protective spell. So that is, let's see, let me pull up my chart here. Now this is affecting you, so it's only going to need the 1 success. So we got that 1. You've got 5 successes that you can divide into various things. I'd say if you want this to last a day, you're going to want to add 2 to that. So it gives you 3 dice that gives you additional levels of protection against damage. So you, using correspondence and life, yeah. 2. So for the 1 correspondence, or no, for the 1 life, you get an additional protection of 2 health, 2 damages, and you also get from the correspondence take away 2 dice from anybody who tries to attack you. So you're basically getting an extra soak die and 2 dodge dice, if you will.
Outstanding.
So, with that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let us reveal your cards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You see that your tokens are over top the card. You should be able to right-click and flip it over.
Wait a minute. Oh, it's right on top of the card.
You can move the card down, too. If you want.
Ooh, I love this card.
Do you? Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
but you got the Hanged Man inverted.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's so odd. I love the art on the card.
Yeah. It is interesting, and sometimes you can just flip it around and get a better look at it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty. It's a pretty card. The meaning is interesting too.
It's morbid.
It is. It is a little macabre, yeah.
The Hanged Man is, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Hanged Man. That, reversed, is preoccupation, arrogance, indecision, and it has an association with paradox.
That's very appropriate. It's very appropriate.
I think that's a good place to start for you. I think that's almost been a leading up to this point. This is kind of where you're left at. You are kind of in that space of indecision. Are you there to help Sunny? Are you there to help yourself? That sort of thing.
It's very appropriate. I would even go so far as to say that the arrogance part is appropriate too.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse's definitely got a little bit of that going on.
Charlie, you've got the 7 of something. How come you always pick the ones that's hard to read?
Swords.
A 6.
That's
Is that a
a
6?
Yeah.
That's 6? I'm sorry, you're right. That is a 6. Sorry. 6. You keep getting the 6s. It's not the
It's 6 of dynamic, but there is no 6 of dynamic in the description.
Did I forget to? Wow, I am so.
That's twice.
It's
That's
twice
been my
now.
card.
That I've done that with the 6s. Where I did not put in the others can see tag.
All
But
right.
it's there now. And reversed is
Reverse.
stalemate, failure, obstacles, difficulties, delay, blockage.
Wow, this is kind of the opposite of what I was getting on the previous cards.
Yeah, you were on
It
a
was
quest.
all-
You were moving forward, and I wouldn't say that you're absolutely at a stalemate or anything like that. You hit Brad, who was
Block.
probably thinking, I'll give this guy some information and maybe he'll go away. So the information you have may prove, based on this, maybe not to be as good as Brad claims it to be. That might be my.
Well, I guess
that might be my
time will
interpretation.
tell.
But we'll see. And then for Nay, you've got the three
of pattern.
Pattern. Effort, persistence, tenacity, priorities. That focus, attention, direction. That's all Nay.
That's all Nay.
Yeah.
That is all Nay, especially right now with this weirdness happening.
Instruction. All right. Well, I think we can safely put these aside. Get on the right there. You guys can't see them still, but I can. Don't I? You entered the opulent and beautiful theater of the mind. You were whisked from the material plane, the mortal world, to a different space. You can feel that you're underground. You can feel the weight of the city around you. To either side, before you enter into the theater, there is cavernous darkness. And you give if you have any coats or anything that you need to not wear in a more civilized environment, they have porters, or I guess I'm not sure what they're called, but they're there to take your things. And you can hear there's a bit of a commotion, and you watch at the front doors, and there are people inside the theater. Lots of people. And Frosty looks at the three of you. And by the way, here's Frosty. Hello. He's with the three of you.
I wondered if that wasn't Frosty.
That was
The
Frosty.
picture fits.
I was curious as to who that was. Okay, perfect.
And so pretty great, huh?
It's pretty awesome.
Very turn of the 20th century Art Deco.
Something like that.
I've never seen anything like it.
Well, this is where Rudolph and his players back in the day, they would hold their weekly shows here. And I used to come here a bit every once in a while and used to watch. It was pretty fantastic. But those are the old days, the past. We're talking about the future today. Come on. I'll introduce you, or rather, I'll open the door for you. Come on in.
All right.
He leads you to the front doors, and as you enter in, you see different and very just like strange people. This is the weirdest eclectic mix of things you've ever seen. You see people that have punkish style clothing, multicolored hair, but then you also see people in full business suits. You see people looking like they are coming out of a steampunk convention. There are people who look more animal than person. There's a big mix here. You don't get a full sense of the number in the lobby here. There's just looks like there's probably roughly 20-ish people kind of gather around. But again, you get this mix of fashion and being. And sure enough, at the concession stand is our old pal and favorite, Amnesia. And ordering and getting something to eat there is it's another woman, very clean cut, very like kind of shoulder length hair, brunette. Seems to have a persistent smile. Is wearing a white shirt and black slacks, very NASA looking, if you will. And I would say the three of you, or four of you now, have ventured into the main lobby with this gathering of unique individuals. What would you like to do?
So, Juzzy doesn't know these people. She's with them, but she doesn't know them.
Correct.
So, I'm thinking that she's probably going to head to the concession stand and see what food is on offer. Okay. I mean, it just because like she's a farmer, like, and they sell wares and stuff. Like, she's trying to scope out, see if maybe there's something they could create or if there's some place they could sell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you like, we can have you move over to the concession stand, and next to you get behind the woman in the white shirt. She looks back at you and she smiles. And says, Hi.
Hi.
It'll just be a moment. Amnesia's getting my drink, and
Of course.
And Amnesia turns. She's like, "All right, Amber, here you go. I'm not sure why you wanted the extra salt, but here you go. There's a medium popcorn, and then she's like, and you're gonna want a drink carrier for these, right?" She's like, "Of course." So Amnesia gets a drink carrier, and the woman who's apparently going by Amber takes it up, and she's like, "No, this is for Amp and Watt I'm fine. I'm the popcorn that's for that's for Volt. He really likes the sugar, or not the salt. I don't know why. But thanks, Am." And she heads towards the main theater, and then you get to, and so she steps into that area, and now it's you and Amnesia, and she turns to you. She's like, "Oh, hello. You're a new face."
Hi.
I think.
Love the hair. Looks good.
Thanks. I love yours. We should swap someday.
Thank you. Absolutely.
So what do you have?
I have no idea, honestly.
Behind her is a encyclopedic, like, just collection of candies from the different eras of time. You're gonna find things that don't exist anymore here. So, like, trying to think of like just, I can't even think of some of these candies that I just haven't seen in a long time. But you've got a lot of that. You've got some popcorn, soda fountain. And there is an espresso machine for coffees and the like.
Okay. So I think Jezebel's getting like a big thing of popcorn.
Okay.
She likes popcorn. And are there slushies?
Of course.
Yeah. So a slushy. She's getting big popcorn and a slushy.
Okay. Amnesia looks at you. It's like, okay. All right, right on it. I'll get you a large popcorn and the slushy. My name's Amnesia, by the way, and you are?
I'm Jezzy.
Jezzy.
Well, my friends call me Jezzy. My name is Jezebel.
Jezebel. I like it. Won't forget. And she goes to the machine. She starts scooping in the popcorn, and while we're there, Charlie, Nay, what are you two doing?
I just realized Nay is definitely going to the concession stand as well, so she'll get in line behind Jezzy.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
Charlie is looking around to see if there's anybody that he knows. There's so many people here. He's kind of milling about, looking at faces and see if he recognizes anybody.
Yeah, you do have contacts with the Verbena, so you look around and you see some people that you think you know, that you've seen, but nobody that you know by name. This looks like a lot of like younger mages, and any of the masters, or not even masters, but even the higher ups, they're not. At least they're not here in this area at this point.
Okay, well, that being the case, I might as well get some snacks.
Okay. Throw you back into the snack pack.
The snack pack.
So,
The snack pack.
now let me know, Charlie. Have you how often do you go to Seattle, and have you mixed with the mage culture in Seattle a lot?
Probably like once a month,
Once a month.
and mostly with the Verbena circles.
Okay. So not a whole lot of Capitol Hill stuff.
No.
Okay. Cool. So Amnesia finishes scooping the popcorn. She puts it on the counter. She looks up for a moment. She's like, "Oh, Nay, you got what you came. I'm so glad."
I did. I'm glad to see you, Amnesia. You didn't tell me you were going to be here.
Well, it's the party of the century, and honestly, part of my job. She then goes to the other machine, starts. Oh, Jezebel, honey, you didn't tell me what type of slushy you wanted.
Ooh, what do you recommend? Like any kind.
I'm always a fan of red.
Yeah, let's go with red.
Okay. I don't know if it's cherry or strawberry or what, but red's always good.
It's delicious, I'm sure. Wait. You're the strawberry lady.
I gave you my card. How's your
Yeah, I
friend?
remember. I think she'll be okay.
Good.
But
I'm glad to
thank
hear
you.
it. And
I'm
I
glad she has
offered my hand to shake. My name's Inea Blackwell, but you can call me Nay.
Hi. I shake her hand. I'm Jezzy. Well, I'm Jezebel, but you can call me Jezzy.
Okay, Jezzy. Well, it looks like we're in the same theater for the evening.
Yeah, this place is kind of wild. I've never been any place like this before.
You know, this is a first for me, too.
It's gorgeous here.
It is.
While you two converse, Amnesia is holding out the popcorn and the slushy, and she's just smiling. She's like, "I love it when people get to meet each other. That's the best."
So Jezebel takes her snacks, and I think Jezzy likes Nay. Nay seems nice. So she's gonna eat her popcorn and continue to talk while
Okay.
Nay orders.
Hey, Amnesia, let's see. I think I need a...
Quad shot white coffee almond milk latte with extra vanilla.
Oh, she's
You
good.
know me so well. But I also want a
Okay.
little packet of popcorn, some lemon drops, and do I see Junior Mints anywhere?
Yes.
One of each of those.
Coming right up. She scoops up
Thank
the
you.
various candies, throws them in front of you on the counter. She goes to the espresso machine. She's like, now, I don't have access to my normal tools here, so this quad shot's probably not going to be as quaddy as normal.
It's late enough in the day that probably not a bad thing.
Okay. And she spends the next minute working on that. And as she does, she kind of looks back and she's like, hey, you're new too, aren't you? What's your name, sir?
Hi. Oh, hey, I'm Charlie.
Charlie.
Hey, I recognize you guys from the fruit stand.
Yeah, strawberry. How'd you
They
like
were
them?
so good, by the way.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. It's been a good harvest.
So, a small popcorn, some milk duds, and a Sprite would be awesome.
Oh, I can make that happen. And as she's working the machine, she finishes up real quick. Like I said, it takes about a minute to get the whole drink together, but she's like, okay, boom. And she grabs your candies and she pulls a Sprite. She lays it out in front of you, Charlie. She's like, there you go. It's all on the house. Thanks to, well, you don't really deal with money. So.
I love it here. It's gorgeous.
One less thing.
Right.
I mean, look, if you're a society of people that can make things happen, why would you giving me $1 bill is worthless?
A society of people that can make things happen.
You're not wrong. So, Nay tucks her candy into various pockets and then rolls down the top of the popcorn bag and also deposits that in a pocket.
Okay.
And
of course takes her coffee and sort of cuddles it.
That's Jessie with her slushie. She really likes slushies.
Excellent. All right. So the three of you well met at the concession stand. Amnesia starts wiping down the counter and looks around. She's like, well, I think the show's going to happen soon. And then they got at the convention afterwards. Is there anything else I can help you folks out with?
Huh.
I'm good, Amnesia. Thanks for tipping me off about this place.
Oh, no worries. I've been hoping to get you in here sooner or later.
And I'm going to turn to Charlie and offer my hand and introduce myself. I'm Inea Blackwell. You can call me Nay.
Nice to meet you, Nay. I'm Charlie Newell. Nice.
Hi, Charlie.
Shake your hand.
Oh, nice. Charlie. Hi, I'm Jessie. And she
Hi, Jessie. Pleasure to meet you as well.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Do y'all have any idea what this is about?
I don't
I'm interested, curious because I had the time, so I figured why not? Let's see what this is about. But I have no idea.
I got a little bit of information that there is some sort of a council meeting involved. I don't know if that's actually taking place tonight, if that's part of the show or what goes on afterward. And apparently there's some kind of a vote that's going to be happening soon regarding the lead of that council, if I understood that correctly. But that's honestly about as much as I've been able to find out so far.
Well, you know more than I do. Some sleazy guy told me we were going to change the world, so here I am.
Sleazy guy.
That wouldn't be that guy that was at the stand when I was there buying strawberries, would it?
Oh, yes, darling. He's an absolute peach. My goodness.
I would
Let's just
season
say
anything he says with a whole bunch of salt.
I'm very glad. I'm very glad that Sunny has your card, and I'm very glad that you're here. My goodness.
Yeah, if my phone goes off and it's her, I will let you know.
Please do. Please do. I'll be there with bells on.
Right.
Should we sit together?
Game if you are.
So since the show's starting, we should probably go, yeah?
I think so, probably.
Yeah.
It's as you say
Right.
this that the lights start to kind of, in a slow strobing fashion, kind of dim and brighten, and kind of the silent alert that the show is about to begin.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Amnesia. It was awesome meeting you.
Oh, fine.
Um,
Awesome. Good to meet you as well. Hope to see more of you. Come on over Capitol Hill by Lake Union. We'll get you set up.
that'll be perfect. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna kind of start drifting toward the doors into the
Yeah.
theater proper.
Let's
Jesse
go ahead and
follows.
throw you guys there into the theater, and you enter the auditorium, and you see kind of it's not a large like multiplex theater or anything like that. It's kind of a more personal affair. Looks like a lot of the chairs that were replaced with larger, more comfortable seating. You've got probably an auditorium full of maybe 100 people. It's difficult to kind of figure out exactly how many, but there's definitely different groups of people. Some that you may recognize, some that you may not, but they are all taking various seats throughout the place.
These are some pretty people.
Mm-hmm. Yes. For Nay, you'll recognize actually 5 of these 6 that are down there.
I was gonna say, I
Frosty's
think I
in there
know
too.
some of these portraits here.
Yeah.
There's at least one that is hiding behind the tarot deck, though I can't see.
Oh.
Make that 2.
Huh?
There we go.
All right. Yeah. So I've got a much bigger monitor, so I apologize.
Oh, okay. No, one more. Whoever that is, with the yellowy dat. There we go. Oh, that was Frosty.
Yeah. All
okay.
Right. Getting crowded in here.
Okay, I can't promise I will remember any names, but
well, the 4 that are covered or that have orange tokens, those are the Geek Squad.
Oh, okay. Okay, then yeah, I do recognize them. Okay.
So that's Amp, Volt, Ohm, and Watt.
Okay, so I'm gonna wave if I can catch the attention of the people that I do know. I'm gonna wave at them.
Mm-hmm. And there's the elusive doctor that you met at the hospital.
That I haven't been able to catch up with.
Yeah. And she's doing a good job of blending in. And then, of course, you know Frosty. And then, like I said, there's definitely a lot of people with more exotic looks. Not just colored hairs, but like I said, they look like they stepped out of a different time, almost.
Right.
And the 3 of you find that there are there are some seats together, and you settle down with those that are around you. And at this point, the lights dim, and the screen for movie projection comes down, and a reel of old black and white footage starts playing with narration over it that speaks to the traditions of the Council of Nine, helping humanity navigate the dangers of the 20th century, and how it was through collective effort that we survived World War II, and that the sleepers gained access to more knowledge and more freedoms. And then it goes into a bit of a montage of the 60s and leading into the 70s, where there was more diversity, personal freedoms that were gained, leading into the sterilization that was the 80s, and then the fight back against it in the 90s, and all this different footage and all the narration leading towards this idea that the traditions have always been here to protect and serve humanity. Not a single person in this audience believes that to be true. Yourselves included. Each of you have your history of, what the Verbena believe, and the Verbena believing that this world has been corrupted and taken away from its rightful heirs. The dream speakers, the Kha'vadi, almost the same story, but even more tragic because even the their lands were taken away. It wasn't just their way of life; it was their way of life in their place. And then the cult of ecstasy, the tragedy that was the first cabal that you helped build, the first true intersection of mages, and a first attempt at a international or larger world body not coming together, because harmony just isn't easy. But this propaganda video does a really good job of making it look like it was. Then, in the orchestra pit, you see a very serious looking individual. He's wearing dark, thick-rimmed glasses. His head is shaved. It looks like he's wearing a suit, but he doesn't feel comfortable in it. And he makes his way out of the orchestra pit onto the stage in front of the screen. As the video ends and the screen begins to rise, he looks out at the audience and he takes a moment to gather himself. It's been a while since he's had an audience this large. And he says to you, "Awakened peoples of Seattle, you have my thanks and our thanks for coming this evening. And I assure you, it has been no small feat to bring most of you here tonight. Some of you hide very well. And some of you would not come here even if we invited you. You likely have already heard many of the rumors, so I'll get right to it. Nearly 2 decades ago, a new convocation was started. Born from the chaos of the Great Storm, the storm, while terrible, forced us to be one, forced us to work together. And some of the awakened in this chamber helped save our society. And it has been a long and difficult pursuit. Thousands of miles away, the New Horizon Convocation has reestablished the protocols of our great society. And they have adopted new ideas. And while we still work to rebuild the realms beyond, the Convocation has reached out to us, the traditionalists of Seattle, to lend our voice to the new Democratic Horizon Assembly. To that end, we are going to be taking a census, and we expect all loyal will workers to register. And it's when he says this that the crowd kind of murmurs, and kind of it's one thing to be a part of a tradition. It's one thing to be a part of the grander traditions. It's another thing for them to have your name and address. And so there's this.
Like, are we being drafted?
There is a like there's a lot of murmurs going around, and most people are looking around like, register? What the hell? We never had to register before.
Right.
You hear things like that, and the speaker allows that to kind of rise, and then he holds his hands up, and it seems for at least half of the audience that's enough for them to kind of silent, and he begins again. For too long, we have been scattered. It is now time for us to come together, to pursue truth, peace, and ascension. The Horizon Assembly will consist of 9 regent masters, similar to the council before. However, within this new charter, they will be subject to more scrutiny, and also to 9-year term limits. And he goes on about the structure. It's a lot of technical stuff. And he goes on about the protocols for another couple of minutes. At the end, he comes to and says, "Now, no decisions are being made tonight. We have organized and arranged for the different tradition houses here in Seattle, different chantries, to present to you their candidates for the different seats available. And it's my hope that you will learn a little more about these candidates. The election is a year away, but there's a lot to think and consider. So we want to make sure that we do this properly, and that we make it something that will last for more than the 500 years of the tradition as it was, and for another 1,000+ years of the traditions as they will be. I'm Magnus, and I approve this message." And he gets a little bit of chuckle out of that, and he gets some applause.
Like, okay, girl, like.
And the murmurs kind of keep going, and you hear a lot of people kind of debating the merits of democracy versus the council versus the authoritarianism of the technocracy that hides behind democracy. And there's a lot of politics going on around. And the doors to the back of the auditorium open up back to the main lobby. But you can see that there's activity in the lobby beyond there.
Do I have any hint whatsoever that anybody's using magic right now?
Oh yes,
other
everybody's
than
using
the-
magic right now.
Like the actual venue? Okay,
Like
let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Is there anybody using magic on others than themselves that I can tell? And I'm trying to use my spirit perception to help me with this.
Yeah, naturally. I would say, go ahead and roll your perception plus awareness with a dice pool modifier of 1, and the difficulty is going to be 6.
I'm sorry, you said a modifier of 1?
Yeah, dice pool modifier 1. So it'll add to your regular dice pool from your perception spell.
Okay, wait a minute. I think I did that wrong. I need to double check with you. Perception and awareness?
Yes.
Okay, I did do it right. Okay. I have 1 success.
Yes. 1 success. 1 success, so you can... There's a lot of busyness going on here. And there is so many awakened individuals that it's... You see all the spirits that they attract. And it's a mess.
Okay. So just a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise. One success is not enough to sift through it. More successes you might have been able to.
Yeah. Can I see what the activity is going on out beyond the doors?
Certainly. You and several other patrons have exited towards the towards the lobby, and in the lobby are 9 different stations, all set up with brochures and little advertisements, and each one of them is representing a different member of the council. You've got different traditions. So you've got a station that is all Verbena, and it's made of bone and wood and hides, and there are metal ingots and weaponry. Very Norse, very very Viking looking. And then you've got a dream speaker table that has more traditional shamanistic feel to it, more animals, not in their dead bones, but like, there's a crow sitting on the table. There's feathered headdresses, and there's just more. It's not as visceral. It's more alive. You've got a booth that looks like it's straight out of a Mormon church almost. It's very clean. The table is like perfectly centered. It's, the edges are all squared. There's a big cross behind it. You've got the Order of Hermes table that is, it's a very old Resolute desk. Not the Resolute desk, but, but it's got a lot of, it's very structured, and it seems to have the most people organized behind it. And then you got the Society of Ether, and they've got a bunch of alchemical bubbles and coils, and you see sparks of electricity going on at their table. And so all 9 of the traditions are represented in one way or the other. Speaking of their candidates that they have for this upcoming election.
So, 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
They set all of this up in the time that we were in this auditorium.
Oh, yeah.
Does time work differently in this room or something? Because we were only in that auditorium. How long were we in there for? Like 15 minutes?
Probably 15. Well, I'd say probably closer to 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we watched that propaganda reel
Right,
first,
right. I
and then
got you.
and then
That
dude
makes
got
more
to talk.
sense.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing for a second.
Wait
I
a
was like,
minute.
are they setting
And
up
they,
out there? Is that what?
Right, like
Okay,
that's
what?
a lot. Like my goodness. Okay.
it's almost like they used magic.
I know, right?
There's a
Like,
little bit of
it's
that.
crazy.
Perhaps.
Okay,
I
so
kind of want to go to the Cult of Ecstasy booth
Okay.
because this is something Juzzy didn't even know existed.
Mhm.
So she nosy. Like she wanna see.
Okay. So you're gonna head over to that booth. Okay.
Nay is going to go to all of the booths, and she is going to pick up all of the literature,
Stuff every pocket.
every farking pocket.
Okay.
Because her bullshit senses are tingling. There is a
Right?
high level of bullshit happening here, and she doesn't like it. So she wants to know everything that she can know about it. She's also going to keep her ears out for basically anything that she can hear. She wants to hear the conversations that people are using the general noise of lots of people in a space to cover.
Mm-hmm.
As well as she'd like to hear what each candidate spiel sounds like and all of that kind of thing, because something ain't right here. She don't like this.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Jezzy's going to the Cult of Ecstasy table. Next to Mia. Guess where she's gonna go. Charlie, what are you doing?
Charlie is like very distrustful of this whole situation. At the moment that they mentioned registering, there was
Okay.
flags that just flew
That
right
was
up.
the biggest red
Okay.
flag
I'm
right there.
telling you.
So he wants to go straight to the Verbena table and kind of throw up a what the fuck is going on here, dude?
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's Nay's biggest question is, wait,
Like,
what?
what the
Registering? How about no?
Right, they said register right in the middle and then tried to wrap it up with some extra bullshit. Like, okay, girl, what you
Yeah.
talking about? Extra.
Yeah, well,
Like, I am taking it out of your pocket with this hand, but I want you to look over
Okay.
here.
Register. Get out of here.
yeah. Yeah, there's a
You
little
can
bit
just
of
keep
a,
me right off your list.
Yeah.
especially after your conversation with Brad, huh?
Oh my god.
Oh.
Like this is so sleazy. I'm telling you, like this is literally something Brad would invite me to. And like
Well,
Jesse is low-key pissed. Like Jesse is low-key pissed. Because what the
Yeah,
hell?
I'm not so sure. To me, this seems kind of the opposite of what Brad was talking about. This seems way more bureaucratic
mm-hmm.
and a whole lot.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Wait, you know Brad?
Yeah. Wait. You know Brad?
Yeah, I know Brad. Brad was the whole reason I came down here in the first place.
Oh my god, same. He's like he's
crazy.
he's got his eyes on my best friend, and oh my god, I cannot. Like I'm unable.
So we'll start with you, Cindy. You're going around from table to table.
Mhm.
Which table would you like to go to first? They're all
All right,
close
well-
enough that you don't necessarily have to choose which one's closest to you.
I mean, I guess starting with the Kha'vadi
Mhm.
would be a good idea. She's familiar with them on a kind of a general level.
Okay.
Who's manning this table?
So at this table, you see three young ish individuals. They're like in their early 20s. Sorry, I got my cat in the way here.
I just had mine up in my lap.
Here's the Mizu.
Foofy! It's a Foofy! Oh, look at him. He's precious. Wait, what's their name?
This is Mizu.
Mizu?
Mhm.
Mizu usually has things to say, too.
What a precious pumpkin.
Yeah.
My cats had the zoomies a little bit ago. They finally chilled the hell out. My goodness.
But I can't have him in front of me. Does not help.
He's helping.
Yeah, you see three
Doing his best.
young initiates. They don't seem to be anything beyond that. But they are smiling, and they are they seem to be in generally good spirits, quote unquote. And they see you coming up, and they're like, "Hey, yes, come on up. Let me tell you about our candidates. We have 4 seeking different individual seats on the council.
Okay.
We've got some we've got the very energetic and kind of a firebrand of the world from Brazille, Ana da Silva. She's campaigning for the regent of the seat of forces. And as they kind of give you kind of the rundown, you get the idea that what's happening is that the Council of Nine is going to represent like the different 9 spheres of magic, and that each one is going to be going to have a regent that is a regent master of that seat.
Mm-hmm.
And Ana da Silva from Brazil is their choice for forces.
Okay.
Going through and looking at the brochure, you also have Crow's Eyes, who is a non-binary candidate for the seat of spirit. Joey Burns for the seat of matter, and Sophia Munoz for the seat of life.
Joey Burns for matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I missed the last.
Sophia Munoz.
Sophia Munoz. Sophia Munoz. Okay, I can spell, honest. And she was for life.
Correct. It says on her brochure that she is a native of Chile and was raised in one of the local divisions of the Kha'vadi there, and has been working towards mastering the sphere of life for the past 20 years.
Okay. So that would have been right after the Great Storm.
Correct. When you start looking through, relative to sleeper politics, there doesn't seem to be a lot of... There's a few, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of older faces. It's like...
Well, and that's actually a thing that's bothering me, because while young folks have their place in politics, they don't tend to have the temperance that life experience brings.
Especially in a society where there are some people that can live for centuries.
Mm-hmm. So it seems odd to me that this is all mostly younger faces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and continue collecting paperwork and stuff.
Okay.
This is all going to be stuff that I'm going to be referencing later, so I'm going to want it, I'm pretty sure.
I have a spreadsheet. I can probably just give that to you at some point.
Yay, that works for me.
At least with the basic info.
Right, which is
fill a few more things out, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd be mostly just writing down the bullet points anyway.
Yeah, you do kind of peruse through the different booths. You get to this one booth that is playing some obnoxious techno music. It is a neon spectacle, and you look at the kids there. They don't even really pay attention to you. It looks like they're mostly either paying attention to their screen, or in the case of two of them, their virtual reality headsets. They even kind of roll their eyes at you when you ask to go through the pamphlets, because that's paper. Ugh, right? But you see that there is 4 candidates that they are putting forth, the Mercurial Elite, and all 4 of them are campaigning for the seat of correspondence. All 4 of them say that their home nation is the digital web. All 4 of them state that their gender is unimportant. And all 4 of them have names like Pentakiller, spelled with 1s and 3s.
God.
Cypher Red / Red Green.
God.
One named Elite Romantic Traveler. And the other one that has a / / center / / dot. That's their name.
And you get to be the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yep.
Okay, Pentakiller... what?
Yeah. All 4 of them from the Mercurial Elite. All 4 of them trying for the same spot.
Ugh. All right, so I got Cypher Red. I completely missed basically all of their names because
like I said, I can throw you this
that'll
spreadsheet.
work. That'll work. I can just wait for that because wow, she just threw up a little bit in her mouth there. Blah.
Jezebel, you go up to the Cult of Ecstasy booth, and they are making a big deal about rebranding. They're like, Jezebel, we are no longer going to be going by the name of the Cult of Ecstasy. The Cult of Ecstasy binds us to a truth that may have been real in the 70s and 60s, but we are not a cult. We are not crazy. We are not out there. What we believe in is true and rooted in the core of humanity. And we are the Sahajiya. And we have some strong candidates. We've got 3 candidates that are vying for the seat of time. We are the foremost tradition when it comes to having masters in that sphere. And we also have Lori Swan running for the seat of mind, and Lane Becker running for the seat of life.
So we have 5 candidates.
You have 5 candidates. 3 of them are going for the seat of time. I mean, it's kind of hard not to stack the deck when you're so good at it, right?
Yeah, fair. I get it. How long has this been going on?
What exactly do you think?
This council, this random election?
Oh, the Horizon Council's
What the
been...
hell is registering? What are we registering for? Does Aunt Mabel know about this? Does my family know about this? What is going on?
Well, I mean, this has been kind of a secret, kind of an open thing. I mean, obviously, we don't want to do too much in front of the world. The Technocratic Union is still a threat, though we don't, butt heads with them as much as we used to. But that's not because we agree with them. It's just the Horizon Council's been, for like the past 9 years, just like the first council, the first conclave, they spent the past 9 years kind of really delving into and investigating what we're about and what the traditions mean for humanity and what we can do collectively together. And this is probably, our influence. I mean, to be honest, that, we should work together to make this work. And we can, it's not going to happen overnight. Nothing has. I mean, this humanity's been around a long time, and the technocracy has really solidified its position. But they've done so at the expense of human dignity and personal freedoms and really kind of a one-size-fits-all model. And that's just not who we are. And we're going to take back reality.
So...
And we're learning from America's forefathers. Democracy for the win.
This is how we fight. Okay. Give me the info on these candidates, I guess.
Okay. So they give you the 5 different brochures, each one kind of going into the accomplishments and the validation that these are legitimate masters of their spheres. The only way that you could even be a candidate is if you've reached a level of mastery in that sphere. But you've got from India, you've got Anya Varadkar. From New Zealand, you got Geoffrey Taylor. And from Tibet, you've got Jampa Tenzin. And then from the USA, you've got Lori Swan and Lane Baker. Or Becker, sorry.
Lane Becker.
Yeah. And if you wanted the Sahajiya to have a, 1/3 of the council, you could vote all 3, you could vote for these fine folk.
So, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the meaning of Sahajiya?
The Sahajiya, the meaning. I can look that up for you. Hold on one moment.
Because they're talking about rebranding. I'm not particularly averse
Mm-hmm.
to the cult of ecstasy, so I'm kind of trying to see where they're coming from.
Well, Sahajiya was their original name, actually. They are taking it back.
Got you.
But
it's an identity thing. I feel that.
It is identity. It is also, again, they feel like they've gotten branded. Again, some bad PR being called a cult. Yeah, maybe it was fun back in the 60s, but it's not so much fun now.
Yeah, that does have sort of a negative slant to it. I feel that. Okay, besides the word Sahajiya is pretty. I just wanted to see where they were coming from.
So, yeah.
So
Sahajiya is their old title, and it meant the naturals.
Oh, I like that better. Yeah, I'm down with the rebranding now. Like I like that better. Because ecstasy is natural as anything.
Of course. Well, again, they're looking for, natural ways to enhance their experiences and how those experiences can enlighten them.
I feel that.
I would like to, once I've collected all of the paper that I can find to collect, see if I can locate any of the Geek Squad and see what they have to say about all this.
Yeah, they kind of keep it a tight pack between the 4 of them. So yeah, they're just kind of wandering around. So the 3 of you are in the lobby. Jezebel, you've kind of gone through with the Sahajiya. Inea, you were walking around. You were going to approach the Geek Squad at some point.
Yes.
Charlie, what are you up to?
Yes, I'm headed straight for the Verbena
Go to the Verbena
table.
Yes. The Verbena, they have their table set up, and it is a Viking's wet dream. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is there. And the Verbena, they seem pretty confident when they're standing there. They've got their they're definitely dressed more in a so these are more like, you know, your Norse Viking type Verbena. They're not your local Wicca group or anything like that. These seem very Astaru in their
these are not my people.
These are not the Wiccans that you're used to, but they recognize you, and you know they greet you and they're like, "Come, brother, we've got two candidates for the one for the seat of forces. Her name is Tempest. She is from Norway. She is a goddess. And then from here in Washington State, Joseph."
All right.
He is running for the seat of life.
Okay, Joseph.
He and his group, his tribe, they fought back Bormas almost a decade ago. More than a decade ago. Helped bring the Storm Child to the New Horizons. Helped create this entire experiment. We're confident that he will win the seat of life.
Who are his opponents?
The opponents? It's a good question. Good thing I put this in a spreadsheet that I can organize. So, for the seat of life, his opponents from Japan is a woman by the name of Ikari Ito. From Pakistan, she is a member of the Akashana, which are traditionally, you think of them almost traditionally as like Shaolin monks, though that is a very shallow and stereotypical point of view. They have members throughout the world, but they do focus on the piece of bringing body and mind together. So oftentimes there is that physical martial art component. From the Chakravanti, there is a gentleman from Pakistan by the name of Awan Masood. From the Kha'vadi, there's Sofia Munoz from Chile. And from the Order of Hermes is Suzanne Schaefer. She is from Germany. And from the Sahajiya, there's Lane Becker. She is from Texas. And then from the Verbena, there is Joseph. He seems to be confident with just the single name.
Yeah, that was. I was just thinking that myself. It's just Joseph.
Just Joseph.
Is he like he's Cher or something?
Well, he did help discover the first of the Storm Children. And that's like in the pamphlet, it goes into details of him assisting in the finding and training of the Storm Child, which then led to the taming of the Avatar Storm.
That's impressive.
You can also see that he's got a pretty interesting profile picture. It's a very handsome middle-aged male with blonde, thick hair, with a staff or with a spear in one hand, and then like his shadow almost casts the shape of a wolf man creature.
I'm laughing at the
Was
cat
that a
tail.
kitty? That was a kitty.
Yeah, that's.
That was a kitty. Kitty scene.
He's
Kitty exists.
gotten obsessed with being spanked lately. I think I said that before.
Yeah, me too.
Why is that a vibe, please?
All right. Is that? I didn't think that was that new, Bill. All right.
Well, relatively
Speaking. So yes, there are quite a few masters running for the regent for the Seat of Life.
I'm really concerned about like how the technocracy is going to respond to this organization, all of this bringing together the traditions. I didn't hear a whole lot of talk about that end of it.
Yeah, the young initiate at the table, like I hear your concerns. To be honest, the dangers of letting them go unchecked is greater.
Okay, I feel you there. That makes sense.
And they've been, while we've all been silent, we've been able to build this. What do you think they've been able to build?
Oh, I'm sure plenty.
Right.
I mean, I think we've all had our encounters in one way or the other.
True.
So, brother, can we count on you to vote for Joseph?
When would I be casting my vote? You said it was a year from now?
About a year from now. Joseph and Tempest.
Okay,
And we're mainly running Tempest so that we can have somebody possibly challenge the Order of Hermes.
Yeah, that makes sense that Hermes would be buying her forces. I can't really say that I'm committed to anything right now because I'm still a little bit in shock over this whole situation. I'm concerned about how stable this is going to be, how much we can trust each other. I love the idea of coming together, but I'm a little bit concerned about some of the wording that was used there. How would we be casting our votes? Do we have to register to vote?
It's a difficult thing. No one knows for sure how many there are in the awakened community. No one really keeps a rolling tab. It's really hard to know who's eligible to vote and who's not. Because there could be plenty more here, but only those of the 9 traditions were invited to this gathering. I don't know if any of the other non-organized crafts out there, if you will, if they're going to get involved or if they're even part of this.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that angle of it, that it's just possibly just for traditions. Now, you said something about eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
What does it take to be eligible to vote?
Well, you would have to be a verified member, awakened of a tradition within the Council of 9. So Verbena, the Dreamspeak Kha'vadi, and the I'm still going to call them the virtual adepts. I refuse to call them the Mercurial Elite.
It does seem a little, just a touch pompous.
So even the virtual adepts, even they are eligible.
Minor aside, because I didn't know what to call them, I made in my notes, I called them the techie dipshits.
Techie dipshits. That's a. I mean, we can put that up to vote as well, but.
Oh my goodness, that's.
I will be correcting my notes when I get the spreadsheet from you.
No, please don't. That is perfection.
I like // center / / dot.
Okay, but like, fuck that guy though. Like, fuck that guy. Like, what the hell is that name? That's not even anything in lead. Like, please.
It's beyond leaked.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Artist formerly known as Prince.
I don't know. My favorite is the one known as Elite Romantic Traveler.
Oh, right.
I bet they are
You just know their Instagram feed is so pretentious. You just know.
They just know. Their brochure goes on about how they are the preeminent author on all the fanfic.
Oh my god.
And that they have personally created new realities through it.
It's a fucking TikTok boy. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It's a fucking TikTok boy. Jeez.
But apparently they're a master at correspondence, so
I think I do have to stand by techie dipshits. I really do.
There you go. That'll work. So
does that mean he can really, really send an email?
Yes. At some point, the three of you kind of bump back into each other as you reach the Order of Hermes table. And this one is just regality amped up on top of regality. They really try to push how pompous they are on everyone. But unlike the other tables, this one doesn't have like a bunch of neophytes or newbies hanging around. This one actually has one centered mage sitting down at the seat of the table and about 6 other in terms of like the Order of Hermes, lower tier members, because they are the mystical multi-level marketing group of mages. But the one sitting in the center also happens to have open in front of him a brochure with his face on it. It's like, welcome! Come on over, guys. Hi, I'm Malcolm Matthews, Bonnie Flambeau, and I would like to have your vote for the seat of forces.
I don't recognize this guy, do I?
You do not.
Okay.
Not in character, anyway.
That's what I was asking. I mean, I recognize the name certainly as a player. As a player, I do, but
Malcolm, as he's saying his name is, looks at all of you and says, "I see that you are very new here. I have not seen you in these halls, but it's good to be seen, and it's good to talk. My name's like I said, as the brochure says, Malcolm." He almost seems like he's uncomfortable sitting here.
Oh boy.
This is not where he normally wants to be. But he's doing his best. And he looks around at the other mages around him. It's like, all right, guys. So what's it like on the outside?
Not the outside, though.
Various shades of awful at the moment.
As per usual.
Mm-hmm.
As per
Like,
usual.
Like what? What exactly is the awful that you're experiencing?
Rash of killings of homeless people. We've got a pandemic running. Do you not leave this place very often?
Are you okay? Do you need us to call someone?
Hi.
They did not do that.
Hi, kitty. Bye. He's being very lovey.
It's a foofy. He's best baby.
He is. Malcolm leans in a bit. I don't get out like I used to get out. It's for the best, I suppose. But hey, I could be in charge of the seat of forces. And, hey, I'm from this area, so it's, that's why I'm the only candidate here. I figure, who else is going to vote for me, right?
How old does this guy appear to be?
He is early mid 40s.
So he's one of the older faces in the crowd.
One of the older. I mean, for Order of Hermes, he's, from what you know, he wouldn't be old, but everybody, again, after 1999, things have not been great for, anyways, especially the Order of Hermes. It took a huge hit. You would know that of all the traditions that were attacked by the technocracy, that suffered from the Avatar storm, and just had their own internal conflicts, that the Order of Hermes, as large and as influential as they were, lost a lot.
Okay. So they're kind of in rebuild mode even 20 years later.
Yeah, everybody is, but they lost a lot.
Especially so.
Yeah. But it's also kind of brought about all of this is true of all the traditions. It's kind of this newfound energy and tolerance for change. The traditions used to be pretty much about that idea of we have to keep the old ways. And you yourself are one of those bringing in the new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
But it is distressing, I would imagine, to be a part of something that's a tradition that only has a bunch of young people in it. So Malcolm, yeah, I don't get out nearly as much as I could, but people are dying.
Oh, are people dying? Yes.
And not that COVID thing, because that's an easy solution to that.
No, I'm talking about racist, classist, bigoted assholes just hunting the homeless of the city because they feel like it.
Dickheads.
That's one word for them, yes.
Okay. What do you want to have done about them?
I want them stopped, preferably turned in, so they pay for what they've done.
Okay. Well, I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to promise you that.
Wise choice.
But I'll look into it. I've got some friends. Got lots of friends, apparently. Friends.
I'm noticing that's true of a lot of people in this room right now. But I am going to take a card out and hand it over.
Takes the card.
And say that we've also had some internet streamers in the magical community go missing.
Missing?
And Yes, they have left as their last messages things that suggest that they think they're being hunted or threatened in some way, and then they simply stop communicating.
Hmm.
And this has been a relatively recent thing that I've come across, so I'm not entirely sure exactly how long it's been going on yet. But if you happen to hear anything about that, I'd appreciate it if you could let me know about that too.
That sounds weird.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He takes a look at your card and like, I can keep this?
That's yours.
Nice. Thanks. Puts it carefully in his pocket. Calls one of the initiates over. Looks him in the eye and doesn't say a single word. But then they go running off somewhere. And how about you, sir? What brings you into the theater?
Well, I kind of ended up here just because I didn't come to the market today to come to the theater, but because I was in the market today, I got an invitation to the theater, and so I came to check out what was going on, and was quite surprised to find out there was a lot going on.
I often find it surprising how much there is to going on. But it can be fun. Don't you think?
I guess. I like the idea of organizing, but I'm a little bit concerned about being able to trust each other. You know,
I get it.
it's just
I understand. I Look, I can give you the politic stuff, but I hate it. I left the Order of Hermes several years ago. I joined the Verbena, actually. I was a member of them for a few years. Um, I don't believe in any one tradition having a stranglehold on reality. I think the traditions and possibly even other crafts, when together, are more like flexible bamboo. They all can bend and move in their own ways, and but when brought together, they can be a strong core unit. And they can have that strength and flexibility together. Unlike the technocracy, where they try to be a single log, they try to make everything into one tree. And my friends and I, for a long time, we never saw eye to eye, but we always found a way to work together. And that's how we got where we are now. That's how the idea of this potential democracy can work. I think it's worth a shot.
it's like I said, it sounds idealistic, but
It is.
if it does work, then it certainly gives us an advantage rather than just trying to deal with this, the adversities of the world and the technocracy on our own.
Mm-hmm. We're not perfect. We haven't been. We're trying to do better. And without the old masters holding the reins anymore, I think it's time for us to turn the page on this chapter of humanity and move on to the next. And I think we can help. I think you can help. I think ultimately it comes to our younger mages. And I know we're not all young. I'm not. Well, funny story. I am now one of the older mages in the Order of Hermes. I never thought that would happen. But a lot of them died.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry to hear that.
You know,
Times have been
it was a
bad
long
for a
time
long
ago.
time.
Long time ago. They all died. I don't think that was quite the way that they wanted to bring about the unity that came after them. But hey,
It kind of makes you wonder if they would be, if they would choose to do what you're doing now, if they were still here.
oh, they certainly wouldn't. They hated the idea of democracy. They hated the
That's
idea of
kind of what I was
voting.
thinking. They were.
They thought power was all that there could be, and they thought that they would listen to me. I I used to be like that. Power was the reason we did this. And that through that power we would somehow magically make things better. It's got to be the other way around. But that's what I believe. That's what I think. Take what you will.
Well, I'm fairly impressed with your idealism, and it seems like you're very behind this, even if you're a little reluctant to be out here talking.
Well, I'm sure the others are going through the same process in their cities. And back in New Zealand, things are whatever they are. But I'm really more concerned. We lose sight of the big picture. I mean, we think about the big picture. We lose sight of the details. And I'm kind of distressed to hear that there's this issue with the dickheads.
Yeah, me too. That's the first that I'm hearing about that, and that's quite concerning. If there's people out there getting killed, just because they don't have a place to live, that's
It's
ridiculous.
been going on for a couple of months now, at least, and we caught at least one, and there's others out there trying to help too. But the people in the camps are having to band together and run patrols just to keep each other safe. And there's one going on tonight that and now I check my watch, really need to get to.
I understand. Can't spend all night at the theater. What about you?
No.
I haven't heard much from you. I mean, you're a cabal, but I think you are a cabal, right?
Oh, me?
No, the three of you.
Oh.
Oh,
I mean, you guys got
we
here
just,
together.
I'm not.
We kind of just met, but
yeah. I mean, they're nice people. They're nice people.
And I'm certainly interested in helping, with the homeless problem that you're dealing with, Nate.
He looks at you guys for a moment, then he looks across the room and he makes eye contact with who you recognize as Frosty. And looks at him, he's like, and Frosty just shakes his head. Okay, well, I mean, if you're not a cabal, that's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to presume. He looks back at Frosty a bit. So you're telling me your name was Jezebel again? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Hi, I'm
Hi.
Jesse.
And what are your concerns?
Honestly, I
I
am.
feel like Santa Claus, but like instead of what do you want for Christmas, it's like what are you worried about?
the And the homelessness issue that Nea brought up is a serious problem. Um, I live on a farm, so I'm a little removed from that. But I do think that everyone deserves a place to call home. And because there is just a severe need for that, I mean, I can't turn these people away. I mean, if they're homeless, they probably need food. And I live on a farm. We've always got plenty. We're fortunate that way, I suppose. So I kind of want to join in on Nea's efforts and not just tackle the homelessness problem, but also provide some fresh produce to the best of my ability.
I take meals out to them at least 3 times a week.
We could absolutely help with that. We've got plenty. And I'm sure my family would be more than happy to pitch in.
That'd be fantastic. That'd really help a lot.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I'll bring it up to them tonight, as a matter of fact. They're probably awake now waiting on me to come home.
Looks at the three of you. He smiles. He's like, that is how things begin. I am... You know what? Maybe Frosty was right. And amnesia.
Huh?
Come with me. He stands up, and you see that he's using a cane to walk, and up until this point, he's been gesturing with his right hand, but his left hand, you notice, is really, like, cramped in and bent, and it looks like it's been through some sort of, like, you know, grinder or something. It just doesn't look like it's in good shape. And he walks with a pretty pronounced limp with his cane. And he's like, follow me. Or I'll get you to where you need to go.
Wait. Who, darling, who are you?
He smiles. He says, well, Jezebel, I am Malcolm Alexander Matthews, Bonnie Flambeau, Maelstrom of the 9 Stars, Defender of Doisatep, Fallen of the Horizon, and Wielder of the Ever-Burning Heart.
You've got a resume on you, sweetheart.
And that's just what I've done this year. No, actually that was a lot of old stuff. If I'm being modest, I haven't done a whole lot this year but talk. But I wish to aid you in finding just the right spark that will make maybe legends of the three of you. And if not legends, maybe martyrs. Come with me. And he starts...
Not martyrs, my goodness!
Starts hobbling as quickly as he can. And you see some of the initiates, like, you know, get kind of, like, surprised that he's moving at any rate. But he's making his way towards the box office of the theater.
Well, he's piqued Nea's curiosity, so
I'm absolutely
she follows.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's got a name that takes a paragraph to pronounce. I need to know more.
You can just call me Malcolm. That's fine.
Oh, that was the plan, darling.
Good, because I couldn't stand you to say that ever. I have to say it when I'm in front of the other order members, but especially if you make such a direct challenge as to who am I. If I don't do that, I won't hear the end of it. He gets to the box office, and you guys quickly are catching up to him. And flanking from both sides is Amnesia and Frosty. And Frosty's like, "What's up, boss man? Thought we were gonna stick around a little longer." It's like, "Oh no, we still are. They're leaving." It's like, "Was it something Did I screw up? No. You did just right. Look, I don't pretend that I even understand a half of whatever you do, but I trust you, Frosty. And you brought me these three. Amnesia, you, not in the same way, but confirmed that these three were special. And then just talking to them led me to see the connections, however small it might be. The three of you only met today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bought my strawberries.
But you all
They're
bought,
delicious this year.
but you two bought her strawberries. Exactly. I think that you have something to do tonight. I don't deal with fate too often, but when I recognize it, I try to lean into it. Frosty here's taught me that. So, you have places to be. This is the door to it. He knocks on the closet door inside the box office, and after the third knock, you see kind of a flash of light, and he opens it up, and beyond the door, you see twilight. The sun is has come down, and the night is starting to take over. And you see blurred shapes beyond. I think you have somewhere to be.
I do. They're going to be getting started with their patrols really soon.
And what about Sunny?
Do you trust her?
Of course I do.
Does she trust you?
I hope she does.
Then you are both free to make decisions for yourselves.
Well, if nothing else, tonight I've learned that strawberries lead to good people. And I'm very nosy. So I'd really love to see what's on the other side of that door.
Only one way to find out.
Let's fucking do this. Let's go.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Okay.
And Nay just turns and goes through the door.
Let's go.
So Nay, with your backpack full of pamphlets and popcorn and candy, head out first into the cool night air. Around you is a green field, trees, you see some pathing, but also along you see tents that are set up. This has been, for the past several months, a place for the disposed humanity that has been brought forward by corporate greed and the failure of the social safety net. These people are not monsters. They're not here to be. They're not here because they want to be. They're here because they have nowhere else to go. Following you, Jezebel, you walk through. Immediately sense the cool air, but the rising stench of human refuse. And the stars are just beginning to come into the night sky. The buildings superimposed upon them. And Charlie, you're the last through the door. you kind of hear Frosty say, "Good luck," and then the door closes.
Wait, what the fuck?
And behind you is, when you look back, is the door of one of the few public restrooms.
They've only got one.
Hmm?
They only have one?
Who does? No, they have a few. This is just one of them.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
No.
Is this a camp that I recognize? Do I know where I am?
You don't recognize. You've been in and around the city. I don't know if you ever made it to this area. But you would recognize it as near Woodland Park, if not in Woodland Park.
Okay.
And the three of you are standing there. And that's when you hear the gunshots.
Oh,
It's already started.
no, wait.
And Nay's got to just take off running.
Jezzy immediately follows, because what the fuck?
Yeah.
You run as fast as you can in the darkness, and following towards the sound of, not my cat, but of the
Easy.
What a bubba! What a bubba!
You run towards the sound of the cacophonous echoes of gunshots, and you see a gang of 4 men running. They seem to be chasing after someone.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Okay, so in relation to the person that they're chasing, are we closer to the person being chased or the people doing the chasing?
People doing the chasing.
Oh.
And are they all running away from us at an oblique? What kind of directionality are we looking at here?
They're running across the park, one of the free spaces. So it's kind of cross of you, so you can so you're running one way, they kind of cross your path.
Okay, so they're running across where we're okay.
Mm.
So, but we're closer to the people doing the chasing.
Correct.
Are there rocks around?
There are several rocks.
Are they big or are they small? Like, could I hit someone in the head with them?
You can certainly try.
Okay, there's 4 guys chasing this poor person, right?
Yeah. Give me a perception check. You can just roll your perception 3 dice.
So I was just about to say, does it look like they're being led somewhere by this person that they're chasing?
Um,
Or is this person really looking panicked? Can I tell?
it's a bit rough to tell at this point. Pretty
Wait,
dark.
I'm sorry. How would I roll perception?
You could use the dice pool used at the top, or there's a standard dice pool roller on the web Roll20 page at the lower left corner, and you can click on that.
Is it perception plus an ability or just perception itself?
In your case, I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any relevant abilities, so we'll just roll perception.
Okay. So it's description action? Yeah.
You can change that to be like searching for a rock.
Searching for a rock. Okay, hold on.
And as for the difficulty, this is going to be like a 4. No, not even that, a 3.
Is there a DP mod? No, right?
No DP mod.
And difficulty 4, submit. Oh, hold on. Can't see. Oh, one success.
One success. Is that a one success or is that a
That's a 4, right? It's a 4 and 2 ones.
4 and 2
If you look
ones?
in the chat,
that is no successes.
yeah,
No
you've
success.
got
So
you've
you look
got a
around
negative.
and you see a lot of different rocks, but they're either too small or too big for what you're trying to do, what you're thinking about doing.
Okay, so Nay is going to pick off. These all look like big guys.
They look fairly large.
Okay, so she's going to pick off the smallest of the lot.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, she's not actually actively armed. So this is about to bring into use her martial arts training, which is not great. There's only a little bit of it.
Oh, are we approaching?
Oh, Nay is. She's at flat out run.
She's flat out running towards them. You took a moment to stop and try and throw a rock. Nay's running straight towards them.
Got you.
Nay's pissed.
Fair.
So you're gonna try and find the runt of the litter.
I'm gonna call it probably the one that's trailing the furthest behind the aggressive pack.
Okay. And what are you
Let
gonna
them know
attempt
they're
to
not
do?
the only hunters out there.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
She would like to full body tackle this jackass.
Tackle. Okay. General hand to hand. This is going to be a dexterity and brawl roll.
No,
However,
I thought I was using martial arts.
However, you do have martial arts, and I would
Yeah.
allow that because this is still a physical attack.
Mhm.
Martial arts is usually it's a different level of training, but again, it's a tackle is a tackle, and I think it's the same in martial arts or brawling.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we'll let you do that. Difficulty is going to be 7.
Okay. So you said strength?
Dexterity. And
Oh, excuse me, dexterity, yes. And martial arts.
yes.
Okay. And we have no dice pool mod.
Not in this case.
And difficulty 7.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Ah! I missed.
Okay. Yeah, that is actually a straight up botch. That is not even. So, you running flat out go towards that and you leap into the air and you summon all your strength and you're imagining yourself as the wolf. Morrow
missed.
whispering in your ear, "Yes, yes, get him. You can take him down." And
Except
you leap past, and it's as if they weren't even there. You're off by like a whole foot, and you land straight onto your stomach.
Yeah.
Charlie.
that didn't work.
What are you doing? As Nea falls,
Completely misses.
whiffs it.
Are they running through the grass? Are they running through grass?
Yes.
Now, with my correspondence and life, could I make the grass grow to be more trippy, like so they could trip on the grass?
Oh, yes.
Attempt to trip them with the grass.
You certainly can, sir. You, with correspondence, can, especially with the level of correspondence you have, you can definitely work on things in sight. Like normally you'd be able to do it with sight, with that correspondence right on top of it. So targeting is not a problem. What are you trying to do? Trying to make like weeds grow, or make it
Yes,
slippery,
I'm trying to make-
or
I'm trying to make the weeds grow so that they'll be, you know, I'm thinking of like berry briars, how they would be, you know, it'd be real easy to trip on a berry.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know it was there. That
Okay.
kind of, to make it have that kind of thickness.
So you're trying to, you're trying to trip them up with like sticky, fast-growing roots. That what it sounds like? Okay.
Briars is what comes to
Briars.
mind. Yeah. So
Okay. So
those grow all over in Seattle, the surrounding area.
okay. So that sounds like it's a difficult feat. So that's going to require 3 successes.
Yes.
However, this is definitely fast casting. It's definitely vulgar. And they would be witnesses. So, when you cast
this is going to be difficult.
When you cast this, the base difficulty is 8. You can do things to bring that down.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question. How much quintessence and willpower can I put into this to make this easier?
You, my friend, you can spend 2 quintessence per turn. And you can spend 1 or even 2 turns casting this. You can attempt to keep casting until you're ready to let the spell go, if you want, technically. But you only get 1 arete roll per turn.
I think it would make sense to spread this over 2 turns.
You could also spend a single point of willpower per turn to guarantee a single success.
Okay, so we're going to do that.
Okay.
On both turns, we're going to spend.
All right. And what magical means, what practice are you using to cause this? What in your bag of tricks are you using? Are you pulling out a wand?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking at. I think I will pull out.
Okay. So, with the 2 quintessence and using a wand, you get the difficulty down to 5. So you can roll your arete, and you were spending your willpower. So roll 3 arete, difficulty 5, and we'll see what you get.
Is that now? Clicking arete, but I'm getting nothing.
It's gonna be on the behind the character sheet. It's weird. It puts it in its own window.
Let me find it.
That's what it did to me last week. It was hiding on me.
Aha, there it is over there. Okay. There'd be weeds. DP mod new. And difficulty 8.
Normally 8, but you're bringing it down to 5 by spending 2 quintessence and using a tool.
All right, let's see. No.
2 successes.
I got
plus,
2 successes.
Plus the one that you get for willpower. 1. So in the 1 turn, you got 3 successes. You can release the spell and it will work as you envisioned it. You could also spend a second turn continuing it to try and get more successes to improve the various effects, like damage or additional targets.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so right now you've got at least one of them trapped. Did you want to do the same expenditure of willpower and quintessence, or?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So let me check the rule here. Oh, because this is a vulgar effect, you will gain 1 paradox. At least. Alright, go ahead and roll your Erte, the same difficulty. But now you've got 4 successes because of the willpower. Let's see if you could add any more to that.
Okay. And difficulty 5.
Okay, you get the 1, so instead of 2 successes, that's 1. So you get a total of 5 successes. That means you have 3 of these 4 guys entangled. And they trip and fall to the ground, each of them taking some damage, some bruised knees and elbows. But all 3 of them quickly turn around and look up, and they see the 3 of you, and they have hatred in their eyes. And you hear the flapping of wings and the hooting of owls in the air.
Again.
And this is
This
where we'll
happened
leave you.
last time. I was afraid of that.
This is where we'll
Right.
stop for tonight.
I
and
knew
where
it
we
was
will-
coming up.
Yeah.
And where we will start next time. Jezebel,
Yeah.
you almost had a rock. I'm sorry.
I wanted to rock so bad. I wanted
At
to
least
hit
she
him in
didn't
the
do a
head
belly
so
flop
bad.
into the grass.
Oh my god, I really wanted to hit them in the head with a rock. Oh my god, I just wanted to like spin kick it, but
That would have been awesome. Just throw it up, spin.
yeah, like just hit one of them in the temple real quick and start like knocking them down like dominoes. That would be sick.
So,
Well, Charlie got the most done of that
Yeah, I know,
whole.
right? Like progress was made, child.
Yes.
oh, I completely forgot to.
I pulled out my wand and went on Neville Longbottom.
You did.
Oh, you sneaky. You sneaky.
It is.
He's been over there for like an hour. Well, Orange Cat's been over there for like an hour.
Oh yeah. Those are the babies.
Yeah.
And Juno's a little sneezy. He's the orange cat.
Huh. I feel bad. I thought I had a Woodland Park theme. My bad. I'm going to have to make one.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I already had it. Maybe I'm just missing it. Oh, no, I have it right here. I just haven't made anything for it yet. My bad.
Got you.
That's okay. We'll have it for next week.
Yep.
Next time.
Next
That'll
time.
be good.
Next time we will have you start off in Woodland Park, chasing down some suspects after being pushed into this with some ominous fortune telling, and kind of feeling the strings of fate being pulled a little bit without your direct knowledge.
Let's fucking do this. These guys are assholes. Fuck them. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Let's fucking do this.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm so
Nate's,
hyped.
Nate's so pissed.
Because what
These-
the fuck is this?
These are her friends and people she takes care of, and she's not okay with this.
Yeah, this is bullshit. Like, why would you do that? I'm sorry. Jezebel is just in shock. Like, why would you do that?
They have their
Disgusting.
reasons, but I would not venture to say that they're good reasons.
I was
There-
just gonna say, but
there's never a good
reasons
reason to do that. Like,
reasons
wow.
are not excuses.
Okay, thank you.
Indeed. So, how y'all doing?
We're
Feeling
good.
Okay.
good.
Oh.
Feeling hype.
Oh, hype.
So,
I have
Ready, like-
grass stains down the front of my vest, but my gear is okay.
walked you through a little bit of the Theater of the Mind. That's an older location. The old guard of Seattle Mage rulership kind of used this place. But but it's not really where things are now. Things are a little more spread out. But you got to meet Malcolm. Apparently, he got out of the asylum. We'll see.
Like, what
little,
the fuck?
little terrified about that.
Okay, right?
Well, you guys don't know about it.
No, we don't. We
I
don't
mean,
know that.
but isn't that scarier? Like, oh my god.
I, as the player, I have heard about Malcolm.
Right?
I mean, they don't know him from Adam right now, but she's gonna be looking. She got his name.
Yeah. But he's something there is, like I said, I don't know if you got it, but there definitely seems to be some strands of fate going on there. So.
It's very interesting to me. From Jezebel's perspective, this entire night started with strawberries. It started and ended there from her perspective. So it's just very interesting that something as innocuous as that could have facilitated all of this extra. Like, what a coincidence. But like, then that begs the question, is there such thing as coincidence? I don't know. Like, there's a lot to consider there.
Yeah, Nay really wants to talk to Amnesia and Frosty again after all of this has gone down, because she did catch that they were involved in getting her and apparently Jezzy and Charlie to this whole thing. And the fact that Malcolm was like, you know, with
like,
Frosty.
That was, to be honest.
Yeah, I want to know. Nay's got some questions for Amnesia and for Frosty.
Right.
The next time she sees them.
You question Amnesia and Frosty, I'm going after Malcolm, because what the fuck was that? You said hello and then introduced me to a fucking hunting spree. Like, what is going on here? Like, I didn't even get nachos first. I am very upset, sir. How dare?
How dare you refuse me nachos?
Right.
Well, yeah. It's all good. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Everything's fine.
Just jumping into
the room is on fire, but it's fine.
Things are starting to move a little faster here. And
yeah. It ended with people running and someone taking a belly flop.
And gunshots.
That would be me.
And all right.
And magic.
And a little bit of magic.
Charlie saving the day.
Charlie using some magic, picking up that one paradox for that
straight up vulgar magic.
Now, fortunately, you didn't flop or botch on that, because
that could have been ugly for me.
Yeah,
I could have been walking with a limp.
So, can you tell me why was Cindy's roll considered a botch? Is it because of that 1 and the 2s?
She rolled 0 successes and got 1s.
Oh, I see.
So it ended up being a negative score, which is a botch.
Well, not necessarily. You can still have a negative score if you have, like, say you rolled a 10, but so you have a success, but you had multiple 1s. That still give you like a negative score, but it's not a botch because you still had that 1 success. You have to have no successes.
So I had no successes and a negative.
And a 1.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So that's a botch. And botches, they can result in just belly flopping. I'm sure it knocked the wind out of you.
I'm sure it did. I was barely getting back to my feet when when Charlie's spell went off.
But a botch in terms of magical casting is very bad.
Yeah.
Because that's when you collect more paradox. And any effect that results in the movement of significant amounts of quintessence or of paradox is when I get to say something bad could happen, and I get to roll to see what might happen.
Ooh.
So, again,
and it's not good ever.
Bro.
Charlie only has the 1 paradox. That's fine. That's a safe place to be.
Oh, excuse me.
But I think we'll start there next week. And I'm excited because now we get to do a little bit more crunchy stuff.
I
Yay!
Finally
Yeah.
try to whoop somebody's ass. I'm so looking
Yes.
forward to our first fight. Like,
Yes.
I'm so looking forward to that.
This is not D&D. Fights in World of Darkness are
Yeah, I'm
a little
very
more,
worried about this.
a little bit more deadly.
Yeah.
But we'll
I
see.
mean, but the raised stakes makes it that much more fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think so.
It makes it that much more fun. It's gonna be awesome.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So I am
And next
excited.
week, I have like 4 different reminders set, so I hopefully will not manage to make that same whoopsie.
I think we'll be fine. We record this before ahead of time. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad that you guys were here. Thank you for all those who are watching. We are grateful, and we hope to see you again next week on Mage Monday. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.